Hi everyone. Make sure I can my speaker up. Hey everyone, it's the first day of school. I know it's kind of weird timing. It's actually the last day of school, or probably almost the last day of school wherever you live for little people everywhere. But here at the Little School of Big Change, it's the first day of school. And I don't know, I was just thinking earlier, I think there are two kinds of people in the world. People who love the first day of school and people who love the last day of school. And I was always a love the first day of school, cry on the last day kind of person. So I'm pretty excited. One of those people. So yeah, I just want to talk through a little bit of what's in the school, what it's like. Hi, I see some people starting to join, and I even thought I have a lot of questions have been asked, and I'm happy to take them here. If you've been in the last two, you know that that's not my strong suit, is seeing these questions as they come up. But I did learn after the last one that I can go into the comments and address them, and I did address every single question last time. So I'll do that this time as well. So post your questions here. If I don't hit them in what I'm going to say, I will address them in the comments, but I've been asked a lot of questions already, and I think they're pretty representative. So I'm going to go through some of those and really just give you kind of a feel for what it's like to be a student in this awesome community that's starting to form. And I also thought, if we can do this, maybe I'll give you a little sneak peek. This is the inside of the Little School of Big Change. This is homeroom. There's lots of rooms in here, but this is homeroom. So maybe in a little bit, I'm gonna poke around and see if I can get my iPad to stay alive for me. I'm at 12%, so we'll see. And show you a little bit about what it's actually like kind of in there and what the whole experience is. So just to kind of hit the big points, because I know we've been talking about change and what's possible. I mean, that's the important stuff, right? We've been looking at how people change, what's possible for all humans, what change can look like, how it really can be that it's deep and lasting and not just do this, do that, and see some superficial change. I mean, we're talking about inside out major shifts to where you don't see life the same way. So of course you don't do the same habits or feel the same anxiety in the same way. So really deep permanent change. And that is, you know, that's what we're here for. That's the important part. That's everything. So that's what I've been talking about with you guys through my articles, through the Freedom series, here on the Facebook Live so far. But today's the first day of school. So now we get to geek out on like what it's like in there and all those kinds of good questions. So just this morning, the page went up that gives some details about what it's like. And I just want to kind of walk you through some of that, just to make sure that all, you know, makes sense and see what questions you might have there. So essentially, there are 3 levels in the Little School of Big Change. There is what we call the bachelor level. We have a school theme in case you haven't noticed. The bachelor level, the master level, and then the doctorate level. So in the bachelor and master level, you get amazing content. Now, the content is a combination of video lessons, so things that I've recorded for you, and it walks you through. This is really, I wish I could have shown you. I had along my whiteboard here for months. I've been working on this since December, January really seriously. I had paper taped, like tons and tons of paper, but I kept moving things around and changing things. So it was all about like, okay, someone who's just feeling stuck, someone who's new to the principles or new to this understanding, or even just, you know, has some of this understanding but wants to come in with a clear mind and just pretend like they're new, just have that beginner's mindset. How can I best kind of walk them through this? You know, what comes in what order without thinking about it too tactically, but really getting quiet myself and seeing what makes sense in what place, and testing things. So, we had 22 beta testers go through the school back in March, and they gave me feedback, and they said, oh, this is great, and when I saw this all made sense, and sometimes they said, this would have been better here, or you should have said this earlier. So, I mean, this has been tested like crazy. So anyway, it's an experience. The content is really curated content that walks you through an understanding that leads to insight, that leads to freedom, that leads to permanent deep change. And so the content is a combination of video lessons, and they're all roughly 10 minutes. I really tried to keep them short and tight. Roughly 10-minute video lessons, little animations that come in and kind of show what I just talked about in a new way. Quotes that I had so much fun, like kind of scouring the internet and finding. All my favorite books were all over, and just looking for my favorite quotes that really highlight these insights and this information. What else? There are a couple short stories in there. There are conversations. So in the core curriculum, which is what you get at the bachelor level, there's a little over an hour conversation with Dr. Bill Pettit. In the advanced curriculum, there's an hour-long conversation with Dr. Joe Bailey. So there's conversations in there. There's all kinds of content that kind of comes together, and again, it just sort of walks you through from no understanding of this whatsoever, or from, okay, I've seen some things in this, but I'm going to let my mind get quiet and see what else there is to see. It takes you through that. And as you go through, and this is what the beta testers told us the whole time through, you're just seeing more and more. Things are falling away. You're having insights. You're seeing yourself and your habits in a different way. So at the bachelor and master levels, those are the bottom kind of two levels, the first two levels. It's content. You get the core curriculum at the bachelor level, which is 12 of those video lessons and all kinds of other stuff mixed in. It's a really good chunk of content. At the master level, you get the advanced curriculum, which is more of that, but kind of moving forward in your understanding. And you also get the electives. So what the electives are, the core and advanced curriculum, again, just kind of takes you through an understanding, and it's all about seeing more so that you feel stuck less, you feel more freedom. The electives are a little bit longer. They're about a half hour each, maybe 40 minutes, and they're kind of special topics, just like electives in school, right? You get to take an elective, you get to take knitting or golf or whatever you take, art history. Well, these are on binge eating, anxiety, depression and moods, and relationships. And those are just the first 4 I started with. There will be more electives, more special topics added as time goes on. But those are the four of the kind of the major topical sort of issues that people always think, how does this fit in, or how does it apply here? So I wanted to do something special around those topics. So that's what the electives are. So the way the content works is that you have access to it indefinitely. I would say lifetime access, but I don't even know what that means. Everybody's like, well, who's lifetime? I don't know. I plan on living to be over 100. That's a long time, so I don't know. You'll have it for as long as you want it. Don't worry. You'll have access to this, and it is self-paced. So the second you enroll in the school, you get everything. You get a password. You get everything sent to you, so you can log in to this cool homeroom here, and you see the menu there, and you get access to everything right away. And you can pace yourself through it. Again, this is something that we played with, we tested, we surveyed people, and it's still, everything here is still evolving. So who knows what we'll see works best. But from everything we've seen so far, it really seems like it's beneficial to hand over the content and say, okay, and there's videos in the beginning that tell you kind of how to best set yourself up for success and how to take this all in. So we hand it over, and then you pace yourself. Now, some of the beta testers binge watched, as they said, everything in a couple days. That would be a lot. Others, the beta testers are a little different because we kind of made them go through in not too long so I could pick their brain. But others are taking longer, a few weeks, months. A lot of people have emailed me and said, oh, I'm gone until August, or, I'm away for the summer. It's okay. You just get to it whenever you get to it. So the only thing that's sort of determined for you is the order. and the path again, because it's a very carefully designed and curated experience for you. So I don't want you skipping around. You can't go in and go straight to the binge eating elective or go straight to the anxiety elective. And as much as I don't want to like be the boss of you, that is for your own good. It really is. This is just all designed for you to see as much as you could possibly see from this. And having worked with hundreds and hundreds of people one-on-one over the past year especially, I kind of have a sense of, you know, how the pace and the topics and the way that things sort of flow that tends to make for a really insightful experience for people. So you do it at your own pace, but I'm going to tell you the order, and you have to kind of watch the first one, say that you finished it, and go on, and you just move through it. And the thing I most want to talk about here is the community. So at the doctorate level, there you have access to the community, which includes a forum. And we have some amazing helpers, Greg and Amanda, who you saw from the Freedom Series. They're in the forum. They're super active. I'm in the forum, super active. As things really get going and people start taking in this content and having questions and wanting to talk about things, that's all going to happen there. I mean, that's really like the 24/7 party where everyone's just learning from each other, getting to know each other. And I just can't wait to see how that evolves in time. And then also at the doctorate level, we're going to have 2 group calls a month. So the sort of rough outline for those, or kind of plan for those at this point, is that they're the second and fourth Tuesday. So people are asking, I know, a lot about the times and all of that. They're going to be the second and fourth Tuesday of each month. June is an exception because I think the second Tuesday is tomorrow or next week. I don't know, but you'll find out the details. But in general, after June, it's the second and fourth Tuesday of each month, and they're at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, which is 8, 9-ish in Europe, and early Wednesday morning for all the people in Australia and New Zealand. So far we have people from Australia, New Zealand, all over Europe, Israel, all over the US and Canada. So it was really kind of challenging to find a time that works for everyone. So and West Coast, it's going to be kind of your morning time, afternoon. It's going to be noon for you. So that's the best time I could come up with for now. But again, it's all evolving. As we get bigger groups of people in different areas of the world, as we get a lot of people in Australia and New Zealand, we'll add a new call and make it at their time. And but right now it's at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. So the first call each month, so that's the second Tuesday of every month, will be, I'm kind of calling it a Q&A call, but it's a Zoom call. You can be on video or not, totally up to you. We'd love to see you, but some people want to stay private, and that's totally fine. A Zoom call where we get together and I'll answer as many questions as I can answer, and we'll just have discussion around whatever spontaneous and comes up in that moment. And I've been having calls with that format in all of my courses for a really long time. I love that format. It's fun, especially when you get a bunch of people on, and everyone's just asking their questions, and we're just kind of rolling with it. The next call, the second call each month, which will be the fourth Tuesday of every month, is going to be a coaching call. So that one is like a deep dive, and there's a thread on the forum, and already people are volunteering saying, oh, can you coach me on this and this? So what I want to use that call for is to really kind of dig a little deeper with a couple people who are feeling really stuck in some area. And that is such a cool thing. I mean, it's great for them, but I can't tell you how helpful it is as someone else who has habits or issues or anxieties that you want help with, to see someone else be coached through that. I almost want to say sometimes that's more helpful than being coached yourself, because when you're in the hot seat, which I hate that word, but that's what people call it, like it's a little bit of a different experience. Your mind sometimes is racing, maybe not, but it's personal. Like there's a lot coming up, and it's super helpful. But it's also really, really helpful, sometimes just as much or more, to be the observer in that kind of scenario. And that's going to be happening all the time on the forum. That's what the forum is these people that you're getting to know and see. You're like, wow, they have the same thinking I do, and here's what someone told them, and that made perfect sense when it wasn't me in my head. So that's the magic of a community, is we get to see each other, we get to be seen and heard, but you also get to see these other people that you think are just wonderful people, and man, they have it all going for them. They're just like you. They're exactly like you. And when you see the freedom and when you start supporting other people to see the freedom and see what's possible for them, it starts to sink in, oh, wait a minute, maybe this is true for me too. So, so the community, I just can't say enough of it. It's very early days, but again, I've had many courses similar to this, and the community is always where it's at. People have so many insights, not from what I say, but from what they see and from what their friends are saying, and what they're able to share with their friends that is helpful. And that place, I mean, it's just such a wonderful, loving place, and I know a lot of great stuff is going to happen there. So in the doctorate level, where you have access to the community, you've made it through, or you're in the process of making it through all of that content, again, at your own pace, however it works, but you're joining in the community, and you're being supported, and you're supporting others, and getting help, and having more conversations through the process of that. So that's kind of the difference in the community. So tons of questions I want to get to, but first let's just see, since I only have 9% battery now because I'm talking way too much, before my iPad dies, let's take a look. And I know you can't see this all that well, but this is homeroom in the Little School of Big Change. My savior, my angel, Bonnie, created this beautiful site, and I'm so excited about how simple it is. What I really wanted most of all is something that helps people have insights and finds freedom. But in terms of the looks of things and the feel of things, was simplicity. Please, this understanding is so simple. It's not complex. So the last thing we wanted was a bunch of things flashing and all kinds of different colored things all over the place. So we just tried to keep it really, really clean and simple. So this is homeroom. You come in, I won't take you through all this, but I just want to give you a feel for it. They won't do that. So you come into the homeroom, you get an orientation video. School's about to start, right? You need an orientation. Then you go into the core curriculum, which is where everyone starts. Some people, that's all you're going to start with. Other people, you get everything, but you're all going to start at the core curriculum. You have a first day of school video, which is today, first day of school. And that just, again, orientation and first day of school just kind of give you the lay of the land, help you kind of make the most out of everything, find out where everything lives. And then you go into the different lessons. So this is, might be better over there. So this is just an example of like the very first lesson. Sorry, I keep hitting things. And it basically just has a video that is going to pop out that I'm just going to show you really quick. I won't show you the video because that's top secret for students. But you'll see it kind of pops out like this. Everything is totally mobily responsive. So I'm doing this on an iPad, obviously. You can do it on your phone. It's been tested for every platform. Should work just fine. So the video, sorry about my glare, will pop out. I have this nice little intro. And then you get to just kind of watch the video. And again, they're all fairly short, 10 minutes or less. This is still the intro. There's me. That's the first video. So you go through it, and then beneath that, if you choose to, there are what we call flashcards of insight, which are just ideas, quotes, things that kind of build on what you just learned from the video. And then you'll see all kinds of people who are already in here leaving insights. So they're just leaving, this is something brand new that I saw from this video, just from this one little 10-minute thing, a new thought that I had never had before, something I had never seen about myself or my habit or my innate health that never occurred to me before just now. And they're sharing their insights, and you can hit load more, and there's a ton of them in here already. And you have the option of doing that after every video, sharing insights. And a lot of the people who have been in here already have been saying they love that feature because, one, it gives you an outlet to kind of speak your own insights, to share what you've seen. And then you get to scroll through everybody else's. And again, it's like the community aspect. that just, it's so helpful to see what other people are seeing. People just like you, what are they seeing that maybe you didn't? So I think that's all I'll show you of the inside of the school, but I just wanted to give you kind of a feel for how clean it is, how simple it is. It just walks you through all this content. You can share your insights, read other people's insights. You don't have to. One of the questions I got was about privacy, and you can do the Little School of Big Change completely privately if you choose to. So you have a little My Account area. You could use a different name. You could use initials. I really encourage you to upload a picture of your smiling face, because I just want it to feel like a nice community, but I completely understand not everyone wants to do that, so just don't. No big deal. You'll have just like some little image. You can upload some other picture if you want. So you could do this even in the community. Even in the community, you can do this in a completely private way if that's what you choose to do. So let me see what other questions. I have some written down because I want to make sure to not miss them. I think I hope I gave a decent feel for kind of how it flows. So I know a lot of the questions were about the timing, and again, it's completely self-paced and you have access to this for the foreseeable future. I mean, it's not going anywhere anytime soon at all. So no rush at all. Everything is housed in this beautiful, simple little website. So even the community, it's not a private Facebook page. If you're watching this, you're probably a Facebook fan, but I'm sorry, not everyone is. So we kept it all within the school. So everything is there. You're not going to have to download anything. It's not like you're getting emails all the time saying, hey, you know, check out this video, download this, download that. It's all just housed there. You get access, and then you're an adult. You do it how you want to do it. So you just kind of go in, you'll pick up where you left off and kind of take it all from there. So you don't have to, you know, save space on your hard drive and download things and all that kind of garbage. It's all there. Let's see. Lifetime access. Yeah, so, and I gave the times for the calls and all of that. So really, in the community, that's the only, those calls, that's the only kind of live thing that you're going to want to mark your calendar and really be there for and set aside the time for. And I know a lot of people can't make every single live call, so they're all recorded as well. Also in the community, I didn't mention this, but this is kind of something I'm kind of keeping in my back pocket, although I just brought it up, so I have to mention it now. But there's something called the Doctorate Lounge. And that's, again, for the people in the community. In addition to the forum and the group calls, I'm going to be giving you cool stuff. So there's nothing in the Doctorate Lounge right now for all of you members that are thinking you're missing something. Not yet. But as the weeks go on, as the months go on, I'll be adding videos that I'm not sharing anywhere else, resources, bonus calls, you know, videos that answer questions that you guys are coming up with. All kinds of really cool stuff is going to live in that Doctorate Lounge. So that'll be there. Let's see. So, and some of the other kind of bigger questions. Some people have asked about, yeah, just kind of like what you can expect. And, you know, I think, I hope the Freedom Series was helpful in this regard. So I would say, again, if you haven't seen that, I'll include the link here. It's just Little School of Big Change / Freedom Series, I think. I don't know, there might be a dash in there. So let me give you the link. But there are no habits that this understanding can't help with. There are no issues that this understanding can't help with. I've just personally seen and heard way too many stories to think that there are any exceptions to this. Now, I can't guarantee anybody's specific result, obviously, you know, and like I said in the last Facebook Live, the people in the Freedom Series, like those are big cases. Like that's like, wow, this person went from suicidal to happiest person I know. This person went from 23 years eating disorder to completely free and no thoughts about food. You know, like they're big, but they're big for a reason, to show you what's possible and to help you see that there is so much hope in anything. So I can't, you know, I don't know what your results are going to be, but I can tell you that, again, like I said last time, after working with hundreds and hundreds of people over the past, especially the past year, past 2 years, averaging 6, 7, 8 clients a day for the past year, sharing this understanding in so many different ways, hearing from others who share this understanding, all of my colleagues that share this, people hear things. people really, you are not going to come out of even just the core curriculum, but especially after being in this community and really immersing yourself in this conversation, you will not come out saying, I'm not sure if I got anything from that. I don't know if I heard anything there, or I don't think I had any insights. I don't know if anything was new. It just won't happen. And if it does, just let me know. So there isn't this is another question about like a refund policy. There is no official refund policy because frankly, I just don't need to use it much. But I will tell you that, if you go through everything with an open mind and you really take in all of this content with an open mind and you sit with it, and you can honestly say that it hasn't been beneficial to you, I'm happy to give you your money back. Like, more than happy. So we'll just leave that at that. There's nothing in writing anywhere, but you have my word. That's just the way it works. Like, I can't tell you exactly how your change is going to happen or what it'll look like, but I know that this conversation changes things for people, even things you didn't even know you had. Another question I got, I thought was really a great one this morning. Someone asked me, she has a habit that she'd like to change, and I'm going to change up the details a little bit just to make sure it's very private. But let's assume that she smokes cigarettes, and she said, I'd like to be able to just smoke 3 cigarettes a week. Like, I want to be a social smoker. I don't want to be a pack-a-day smoker anymore. I want to just be able to do this socially. Is that okay? Is that an okay goal to have? Like, can I do that here? And what came to mind for me around that, and what I just want to share, for those of you who are definitely in, and a lot of you are enrolled already, as a way of just kind of holding this as you go through it, is it isn't about a specific behavioral kind of outcome. So if she wants to smoke 3 cigarettes a week, fine, that's fine. Yeah, you can have that as a goal if you want. But if she's going through it thinking, okay, I don't want to totally quit smoking, but I just want to be able to smoke this much, and that's kind of on her mind the whole time she's taking this in, I don't think she's going to be doing herself a service. Like, I don't think she's going to be seeing the depth and the profundity of what is here. So I would say, if you're worried about or even just concerned about, like, what is it I want to change? What's my goal? What am I hoping to get out of this? First, I don't think you have to have all of those questions, those answers, perfectly formed in your mind. You just don't need goals. If a goal comes up for you, or a specific intent or outcome comes up, okay. But you don't need to sit and think about that ahead of time. But I would encourage you to just have something like freedom be your goal. That's my goal for everyone who goes through the school, freedom. And I don't know what that's going to look like. And the cool thing is, even you don't know what that's going to look like. And if you go in thinking freedom equals 3 cigarettes a week, you're going to be selling yourself short, because freedom might be 3 cigarettes a week. It might be 0 cigarettes a week and being totally happy with that. It might be mental and emotional freedom that you never even dreamed was possible. So in general, we set our sights very little, and we focus on the thing that we think is going to make us happy, and that's from our current thinking. From the thinking you have, you think, ooh, if I had this, this, and this, I'd be set. Well, yeah, that's the way it looks to you from your thinking. But if you go through this and get this understanding and just start to see things in a bigger way, again, I've just seen it way too many times. I know that you're going to see things shifting and falling away and finding freedom around things that you didn't even know you cared about, that you didn't even, would never even occur to you to make that a goal. So set your sights a little higher, you don't have to hold on to the specific things, just be in it to see what's here. Like, how can I have a nicer experience of life? How can I feel free and connected more often, and just feel at home in my life, and whatever it is, keep it big in that sense. And the less you have in your mind as you're going through things, I think in general, the more you're going to get. So let me see what other questions here. I think I pretty much touched on a lot of the big ones. People were asking a little bit about when this is going to be open for enrollment again. So the enrollment period right now starts today, June 5th, and it goes until next Monday, June 12th at midnight Eastern time. And at that point, we're closing it down, just closing down the enrollment so that I can turn all my attention to the people in the school and the people that I'm serving there, and and not have to think about all the things that go into getting this started and getting people in there. Give poor Bonnie a break, who's been dealing with building this and handling credit cards that bounce and all the little things that are all completely worth it, and we love what we do. But once we get into a flow where we're not bringing people in, there's a lot more focus and attention that I can just give to the people that are there. So that's the purpose behind closing it. Just like a real school, you can't just walk in the middle of the semester and sit down in class. You need to wait until there's an open enrollment, register, get your stuff, and get started at the same time as everyone else, because that's just best and most efficient for everyone. So that's kind of the way this is going. So June 12th it will be closed, and I'm not going to be able to make any exceptions to that, unfortunately, just because if I make one, I don't know, I'm going to feel like I need to make a million, and it's just easiest to just say, nope, sorry, please come in. I really want you in before June 12th, but after that, you have to wait till next time. So when will next time be? I don't know. I would guess that it probably late fall, early winter. So I'm guessing that we're going to see how this goes through the summer and early fall, and come October-ish, maybe November-ish, we'll be looking at another enrollment period. So, a lot can happen in your life in 5 months, or whatever that might be, 4, 5, 6 months. You can be free of things that, again, are plaguing you, holding you back, or even things you don't even know are holding you back. Like, there's so much to see in this. So I really encourage you that if it's feeling right and it's calling to you, don't wait. I don't know. Again, I don't want to say this in some way that's all gimmicky, but I just honestly don't know. It's a great chance the price might change. I don't know when that next enrollment is going to be for sure. All I know is what's here right now on June 5th to 12th, 2017. So we'll see how it evolves from here. But would love to have you. If anyone else, I know there were a couple questions that I don't think I'm going to be able to see, but we have a few. I can hang on for a couple minutes. If any of you who are on live now want to post a question, I'll catch it before it scrolls up, and I'm happy to answer them. But so far, I feel like a radio person. I'm just filling the space here. As you post your questions, I'm just so happy about how it's going so far. It's so much has gone into this, so much. And again, it's not all me. Like, I cannot thank Bonnie enough. She's been amazing in building this and helping me in every way. Bill Pettit and Joe Bailey had a huge role, and they're in there. There's conversations with them. So many people have been so helpful in this, and to work on something and put so much into it for months. And then when we opened it in March for the beta testers, there were 22 of them. And to hear their feedback, and to hear the feedback of people already today, see people on the forum introducing themselves and saying, this is awesome, and I love the design, and it's so easy, and it's been helpful, to see testimonials coming in. It's just so awesome. It's such a, it's such a rush. It just makes me so happy that with all the doubts that I had, and like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of time and a lot of resources going into this, that bigger flow just kind of kept it going. Like, you get so caught up, and that's what this understanding is, and that's what freedom and finding freedom from habits is as well. Is your mind doesn't just get suddenly quiet. Life doesn't suddenly look totally different and totally easy, and you never have another doubt again. That sure isn't my experience. But you start to know what that is. You start to know, yeah, I'm feeling this feeling in my stomach. I'm feeling my mind start to race. I know what that is. And I know that I'm going to get up and work on the school today. And I know that that's right mind. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe no one joins. Maybe people don't like it. I don't know. But something is telling me it's the right thing to do right now. Like, this feels good right now. And it's been such a growing experience for me. And And it's just so funny how it comes full circle. That's what I love about teaching the way life works. Like what I get to do for a living is teach you how your mind and life work. And I see it all the time. Everybody sees it all the time, but it's so cool to see that, yeah, I'm putting something out in the world too, and I'm seeing it. And then I'm turning around and sharing it with you and my clients, and that's exactly what you're facing. So you're looking for a big change. Your mind's going to be racing like crazy. You're going to be thinking, is it worth it? What if I don't like it? I don't have the money to spend right now. Like maybe it's just like everything else. What if it doesn't work for me? Then it'll be one more thing. I mean, I know every one of those objections because my mind says them too every single time. But if there's something bigger in you that's just saying, well, let me just check it out. I don't know. Maybe it just feels right in some way you can't explain, or it just feels worth the plunge and worth the chance and worth the time. Then just check it out, and just see what happens. And yeah, there's so much to gain, as you've seen from the Freedom Series videos and just from everything I share. There's so much to gain, and really not all that much to lose. And it's good to remember. So. The question about the price, yeah. So the bachelor level, where you get the core curriculum, which again is 12 video lessons, all kinds of extra, animations, things that go along with that. It's a really, really solid foundation. The core curriculum, I mean, that's like an amazing starting point, because I had to think about in designing this. Well, if people only do the core curriculum, I need to make sure they leave changed, because it's the little school big change. Otherwise, I would suck at what I do. So I had to make sure that core curriculum alone, that's not where I want you to stop, but core curriculum alone, you're going to leave seeing something significantly different that's going to open you up for change. So there's a lot in there. But anyway, the core curriculum, that's the bachelor level, is $149. These are all US dollar prices. I know there's lots of international people. So $149. The master level, which includes the core curriculum, the advanced curriculum, which is basically another core curriculum, but going even deeper and even further, plus all of those electives I talked about. So the special topical courses on anxiety and binge eating and depression and relationships. All of that content is $299. And then the doctorate level, which gives you all of that content, plus the amazing community, access to me, access to Amanda and Greg, who are in there, that have seen this and had their own freedom, had their own major permanent change from this, the recordings of all those calls, the ability to interact with me and everyone else that's there, all the extra stuff I'm going to be pumping into that doctorate lounge to kind of surprise you guys when you're not expecting anything. That's $39 a month. I mean, I've tried really, really hard to keep this as affordable to as many people as possible. And I know people have all kinds of opinions on pricing, and people have opinions about everything. That's okay. People constantly tell me I price way too low. Some people say it's way too high. It's just, okay, you can't make everyone happy. But I really have to kind of, and I did for a long time. Again, that's more of this, and lots of people coming and saying, oh, this should be this, it should be a couple $1,000. It should be this, it should be that. I just want to see people get this. I know once you get this, it's almost like it just raises the sea level, like it raises the consciousness of everyone on Earth. So I don't want to be like, no offense to Walmart, but I don't want to be like the Walmart of change. But I also want to be accessible. I want this should be accessible to everyone. And there are free resources out there. I mean, no doubt about it. You can go on YouTube, you can find all kinds of stuff. Please do it. Go Google 3 principles. Go to YouTube, find the 3 principles. There's lots of free stuff out there. But if you're looking for something that's really designed and curated to walk you through, personally through an understanding that's going to lead you to feel free of habits and anxieties and addictions, and then have a community around it, that's what you get for $299 and $39 per month. And another question I forgot to answer, in the community, you can cancel that at any time. So it's set up, like Netflix. It just charges your card, $39 at the same date every month. But if you're not getting value, you can cancel it at any point. So have we done it? What else? Anyone else have any questions they want to stick in there? If not, I'll scroll through, and if anyone asks questions early on that are invisible to me now, I will shoot you a comment and make sure you get your question answered. And yeah, if you are watching this later, or like at any point, email me questions. Just reach out. I'm happy to talk anytime about how this can help you. What it's all about, how it works, and really, really just excited. Thank you for listening, for being here. Thank you for your interest in this. And if it feels like a fit, I'm just so excited to see you in the school. I don't know. I won't keep saying it, but it's awesome to just see this community start to grow around this. And I know this is just the beginning. So if not this time, maybe sometime in the future. So yeah, let me know what questions you have, and I hope to see you in the school. Thanks so much for being here.